One of the things that I believe as a church that we have to do is we have to be able to define success. I think that one of the things we've struggled with is figuring out what success really is. And the problem is when you don't know what success is from a kingdom perspective, if you don't know what success is from God's perspective, you're going to have a hard time knowing what to do, where to go, what to spend your time, your energy, your finances on. Do you know that my concern for the body of Christ right now is not lack of activity? Lack of activity is not the concern. There's a lot of activity. Rarely do I ever go somewhere where I think this church just needs to be more active. Or this believer, the issue is not a lack of activity. The issue is activity that isn't actually taking you anywhere, or activity that's not actually hitting the mark. The reason that this is the concern right now in my heart is that the body of Christ, because we haven't clearly defined what success is running aimlessly and unable to hit the mark. This is one of the things for me in my life is I don't want to get to the end of my life. I don't want to get to the end of my life and look back and realize I was busy, I was active, there was a lot of stuff going on, but I never actually got to the finish line and I never actually hit the mark. As the people of God, we have to be able to answer this question. What does success look like for the people of God? I'll give you the end of the message right now. It's this, the presence of God. Is that we have to be able to define in the body of Christ that success looks like this, the presence of God in our midst. One of the reasons why collectively we need to be able to define what the mark is that we're trying to hit, one of the reasons why collectively we need to be able to say what success is in the body of Christ or the people of God is because culture is established when we're together as one in this. Verse 14, God's gonna speak first. And he said, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Listen to this in verse 15. Then he said to him, if your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here. For how then will it be known that your people and I have found grace in your sight, except you go with us? So we shall be separate, your people and I, from all the people who are upon the face of the earth. So the Lord said to Moses, I will also do this thing that you have spoken, for you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name. I'm fascinated by this story because Moses is presented with two choices. But what's fascinating to me is he doesn't wrestle at all. I mean, this decision is way bigger than red or yellow toothbrush. And he doesn't even take a moment to wrestle with it. He knows the answer right away. And the choice was this. Do you want to go into the promised land that has been prophesied to the children of Israel for 400 years? Do you want to go to a place that has cities that are fortified, lands that you can farm, have victory because an angel is going to go with you without the presence of God? Or do you want to stay in the wilderness with the presence of God? Moses didn't hesitate for a minute. He just said, oh, that's easy. We'll stay in the wilderness with the presence of God. I gotta be listen. I think this is something that the Lord's asking the church. I think we have to define success in the body of Christ, because if we don't, I think we're gonna have a hard time answering this question. Do you want to go into the promised land with guaranteed success, comfort, safety, food, prosperity without the presence of God? Or do you want to be in the wilderness with the presence of God? Moses says, not even a question. I want to be with the presence of God. And do you want to know why? Because Moses understood this, that the promised land without the presence of God is not the promised land at all. That Moses was not in pursuit of a promised land. He was in pursuit of the presence. Moses, you know why Moses didn't wrestle with this? We have to decide this as a people. As a people, are we going to be a people that say, God, your presence with us is the highest priority? It is what our heart longs for the most. It is what we are in pursuit of. We are not in pursuit of numbers. We are not in pursuit of programs. We are not in pursuit of buildings. We are in pursuit of your presence above everything else. And a people that are committed to that one thing, that are in pursuit of that one thing, that are not confused about what success really looks like.